A seismic shift in global trade, Washington has doubled tariffs on Indian goods, crossing 50% in key sectors. The move, seen as retaliation for India's energy ties with Russia, raises a big question. Will India's economy feel the heat? Former Foreign Secretary Shringla says India is already offsetting the impact by exploring new markets.
One of the ways, of course, is to find alternative markets. This means that we can access different markets and we would have the opportunity to divert some of our exports in that direction.
While PM Modi urges a Swadeshi push to fight back Trump's bullying. This is not just about tariffs, it's about India's path to self-reliance. Now let's see which sectors lead India's fight against Trump's tantrums.
अपने किसानों का हित सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है.
Nearly 32% of India's shrimp exports, worth $2 billion, head to the US. With duties now crossing 50%, exporters are diversifying into China and Japan to manage the blow. Broader agriculture exports, including rice and spices, also face pressure, but India is leveraging Asian markets to balance the losses. Textiles and apparel worth $10 billion form a big chunk of India's US exports, with 29 to 48% of shipments now hit by tariffs as high as 63.9%. Add to this carpets and home textiles, where India supplies 60% of US imports, and the pressure deepens. Still, PLI-backed domestic hubs and branding of premium made-in-India products are helping cushion the hit. The US buys nearly 40% of India's gem and jewelry exports, worth about $10 billion. Duties now stand at 52.1%, squeezing hubs like Surat and Mumbai. Yet, rising demand in the UAE, Hong Kong and India's own gold consumption are absorbing part of the shock. From steel and aluminium to machinery and engineering goods, tariffs of 20 to 25% on machinery, 25% on steel and 10% on aluminium threaten competitiveness. Together, these sectors contribute over 15% of India's US shipments. However, India's growing domestic infrastructure demand and new contracts in Europe and the Middle East provide a partial buffer. India exports $2.7 billion worth of organic chemicals to the US, now facing 54% duties. But in pharma, a bright spot remains. Generic medicines, which make up the largest chunk of India's exports, are exempt from fresh tariffs. Competitive pricing and global demand ensure pharma's growth story continues. The US accounts for nearly 60% of India's IT exports, but tariffs don't apply here. Instead, challenges come from visa norms and compliance costs, though rising global demand for digital services keeps the sector resilient. In auto components, which send 15% of exports to the US, new tariffs of 20 to 25% bite, but suppliers are strengthening links with Japan and Mexico. Some exports like smartphones and petroleum products face no fresh duties, keeping their impact minimal. These sectors remain safe havens in India's trade basket. While sectoral impacts of the US tariffs vary, India is clearly positioning itself beyond damage control. Recent trade talks between PM Modi and Finland underline India's intent to strengthen partnerships with Europe, ensuring smoother technology and supply chain collaborations. Meanwhile, the upcoming Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit offers New Delhi a platform to rally Eurasian economies and explore joint strategies. In short, the US move may sting, but India is working swiftly to turn the challenge into a push for diversified, resilient, and strategic trade alliances.